Flemington race 1, the Group 2 Tab Stakes, 1200 metres. I'm going 4, 3, 6 and 1 here. 4 is Zatori. What a brilliant return win in fast time up the straight here. And then matched motors with Santa Ana Lane to the line in a Gilgai. Had the track pattern against him and the weights dead against him. In fact, he only had a kilo off Santa Ana Lane, and on his rating should have had 10 kilos off that Star. And you saw what he did then in the Everest. Viridine's a danger. Tried well into this prep. 1,000 metres Moonee Valley was the wrong recipe. It was a bit tight, that track, and this trip too short, plus it was weight for age. He warmed up late. He wasn't far off trekking. Then went to 1100 at Caulfield and a very good late that day. In fact, was home quicker than trekking, who was third in Set Everest, so it does tie him well. Order of command, gets back to Flemington. He's chased Nature Strip up the straight, so again, you can use the Everest as your form reference. And tie zone, split trekking and Viridine when he clashed in a Group 1 Stradbroke, so he must have a case as well. 4, 3, 6 and 1. Flemington race 2, the Group 2 Wakeful Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies, set weights, penalties, 2,000 metres. Numbers 1, 5, 2 and 6. 1 is Flit. She's got a class edge on these girls, I think. She was terrific fresh behind Libertini. Luckless in the prelude when looked ready to explode, and then knuckled down well to win a Group 1 last time. She gets to 2,000 metres. I don't have any issue there. Stable actually considered running her in a Cox Plate, so they don't have an issue either. On her handicap rating, she should be getting a stack of weight off these, giving them a stack of weight. The one to beat. Vegas Jewel rounded them up like a good filly at the Valley. She beat Oscar Boy, who then stretched Serious Liaison, so that sort of ties in with Soul Patch, who's a Derby hope. Covered a lot of ground, sustaining a run in the Ethereal. I thought she was the best run in the race, and she's on the up. Miami Bound, ridden a bit closer than suitable in the Manifold. Ran well. Most of those in the finish were swoopers, and then took on the males last time. Was okay effort. Here she is back against the girls. And Silent Sovereign, if there's to be a blowout, some hope. 1, 5, 2 and 6. Flemington race 3 is the Group 3 Carbine Club Stakes for the 3-year-olds, 1,600 metres. Going 1 to 11 and 6. 1 is Delasan. Look, he was a forgive run in the Guineas for mine. They put the blinkers on, he drew wide and he did a lot of work in that run and couldn't finish it off. His run prior to that, he was terrific. He didn't quicken but zoomed late at 1,400 and actually beat key rival here in Groundswell. Groundswell turned the tables on him, of course, in the Guineas, running well behind the impressive winner, Super Seth. Beat home Soul Patch, whose subsequent winner beat home Delasan, and now meets the latter 1.5 kilos better. He's got more upside than perhaps Delasan, so he must have a case. Cavalmo looks an exceptional talent. Terrific winning the maiden last time and the quickest last run of the day. The runner-up then won easily and has form around Edison. Edison was 2 lengths off Castelvecchio one day. And Brandenburg also has a case here. Rushed home in a track record Stan Fox last start. 1 to 11 and 6. Flemington race 4 is the Group 3 Hotham, 2,500 metres. Going 6, 1, 13 and 7 here. 6 is Patrick Aaron. I think he's going a lot better than his form suggests. He was race fastest home, pretty much his last 2, with the race shape and tempo against him. He actually ran home 11.38 last time in the St Ledger, and he had a big weight. He had 59.5. Gets down in the weights here, gets to Flemington, and can run a race for us at a nice price. Downdraft was every hope in the Moonee Valley Cup, but it was an honest effort. He might even be better suited here by a stronger speed. The form around him at home, Southern France, Master of Reality's terrific form, given they both then ran well in a St Ledger over in Ireland. Cariff was onto dry ground out to a staying trip last time. He covered a lot of ground, yet still ran second to Hush Rider, who had an easy lead. There's more pressure on paper here today, and that'll suit him. And Sir Charles Road and Hush Rider must have cases. 6, 1, 13 and 7. Flemington race 5 is the Group 1 Empire Rose for the girls, fillies and the mares. Weight for age 1,600. 15, 7, 10 and 9 in a wide open race. 15 for Dealer. I loved her late work, her first 2 this prep. Then she had no hope here at Flemington against the tempo and pattern of the day. She still ran the quickest last run of the race. Best closer last time at Caulfield as well in an on-pace race. And that Rondinella form easily ties in with the favourite Melody Bell. Blinkers on, gets to Flemington. Good roughie. Princess Jenny surged late and a very good win second up, beating Rondinella and Spanish Reef. So that all ties in as well. She looked about to run on in the Turek when she ran out of luck. She crossed the line with Chief Ironside, who won the Vase last week at the Valley. Natoya's in the game for sure. Made good ground in a high-rating Epsom. Only Chaku Shark had a quicker 400 to 200 split. And then went to the Angst and won well, beating Amangiri, who was so good winning last week. And Bahuta Kara, crying out for 1,600, has a case, as does Melody Bell, and a stack of others. 15, 7, 10 and 9. Flemington race 6, the Group 1 Coolmore Stud Stakes, 3-year-olds, 1,200 metres. What a race. 6, 2, 12 and 5 for me. Exceedance. He beat Bivouac Fresh, then he ran on really well behind him, second up with the track pattern against, and he was a very good closer on both he and Yes 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 in a very fast Golden Rose. You saw Yes 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 go to an Everest and win, beat Santa Ana Lane in track record time. Bivouac subsequently was luckless in the Manicato, we saw that. Exceedance with the blinkers on, hopefully can run him down, but they're two-star colts. Bivouac a logical danger. Libertini, a star filly herself, she's unbeaten at 1200, she comes back to that trip. On times and measures, she can measure up here. And Cosmic Force was a good strong winner last time. Was only a length off Bivouac as a 2-year-old, so he's not out of the game. 6, 2, 12 and 5. Looking at the quadrella at Flemington on Derby Day, going quite thin in the first two legs, a bit wider in the Cantala, and then a couple home in the mares race. So first leg, Exceedance 6, 2 Bivouac and 12 Libertini. Hopefully can get us home. Exceedance with the blinkers on back to 1200. Should be suited by the straight. Got him on top over Bivouac and the star filly Libertini. Second leg, I think it's Shadow Heroes Derby, but I want some insurance with Soul Patch and thought of that. Shadow Heroes Castelvecchio form reference is irresistible. Soul Patch looked great with the blinkers on last time, and thought of that looked terrific with the blinkers on his last two. I think they're the only three key winning hopes, 1, 2 and 3 in the Derby. The Cantala Mile, not so clear cut. Stack of chances here. I'm taking 7 of them. They are 8, Night's Watch, 6, Fierce Impact, who comes through the Toorak, 14, Star of the Seas, 13, Rock come through the Epsom, which ties in through Colding, who had beaten Fierce Impact prior to that. 5, Royal Meeting, good Australian debut with 60 kilos. He was wide, he'll be fitter. And 50 Stars, I think the value Cascadian, I'm throwing in for a bit of insurance as well. 8, 6, 14, 13, 5, 3 and 12 in the Cantala Mile. Coming home, 4 Pippi on top, give us a great side here. Tefane's flying, she's a must. Gift of Power, the overs, the 7, and both Manicure and Resin, the Godolphin mares, in the game as well. So 4, 2, 7, 1 and 3 home. Good luck. Flemington race 7's the Group 1 VRC Derby, 2,500 metres for the 3-year-olds, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, the numbers here. 1 is Shadow Hero. Was only second up winning the Gloaming. He powered through the line, went to 2,000 metres in the Group 1 Spring Champion, and he was under pressure before Castelvecchio, yet still stronger than him home. Castelvecchio then went to a Cox Plate and beat home some star older horses. He's the one to beat. Soul Patch, only an impressive winner. Super Seth had a quicker last 200 than him in the Guineas. He went to 2040 at the Valley with blinkers on and he powered away from them. Thrashed a horse called Independent Road, who had been highly competitive with a key rival here in Warning prior to that. And he can win, he's a danger. Thought of that, 2 runs in the blinkers for 2 exceptional wins. He's running really strong figures, last 600 overall time, so he's obviously very good. And Warning, getting out to a staying trip looks suitable, has a case. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flemington race 8, the Group 1 Cantala Mile, 1,600 metres. It's a handicap, 8, 6, 14, 13. Wide race, of course, always is. 8, Night's Watch. Liked him in the Toorak. I thought he was a bit unlucky. He saved ground, sure, but he had his momentum affected a number of times. Then he rushed home and should have at least finished much closer to Fierce Impact, who had the clear air out wider. Fierce Impact is a danger. A terrific win there. He was only second up. He was just no match for Colding prior to that. That's the horse, of course, went to the Epsom and beat the subsequent Cox Plate placed Charcow Shark. So it's an irresistible form reference. Star of the Seas was good in the Epsom, beat home Rock. They both ran well and both have a case here and a next best in a wide race. 8, 6, 14 and 13. Flemington race 9, mares race, set weights, penalties, Group 3, 1,100. Going 4, 2, 7 and 1. 4 is Pippi. Had a little freshen since the figure run at Caulfield when obviously something was amiss there. The 3 wins prior were brilliant. I think she'll give you a great side out in front in the last. Tefane was ridden to warm 2 runs ago. Her wins either side of that ridden cold have been exceptional, and in both races she's run the quickest last 200 all day. Gift of Power was very wide behind her that day. It was only been 2.4. With a softer run, she's highly competitive here and looks the overs. And Manicure certainly has a case through that same Tefane form line. 4, 2, 7 and 1.